Thanks, Goose. When your city has been overrun by zombies, it's not good to be stuck out in the dying light.
The eyes of the world have been glued to the city of Haran for the past 2 months, following the outbreak of a previously unknown pathogen.
It is not yet clear what has caused this gruesome affliction. The local government's Ministry of Defense erected a quarantine wall shortly after the outbreak. Will the ministry still go through with a stated plan to annihilate the city in an attempt to wipe out the Haran virus?
One thing is certain. Haran's days are numbered.
Dying Light is brought to us by Polish developers Techland, known for the Call of Juarez and Dead Island series. But this isn't a Dead Island sequel, despite the similarities in design.
HUD activated. Commence briefing.
You play as Crane, part of the GRE, or Global Relief Effort. Your mission is to obtain a stolen file of some sort. But after being dropped into the outbreak zone, things go very wrong.
Crane then takes refuge in a tower with some survivors and starts to work with them.
Whole damn city with nobody to call for help but ourselves.
But over time, he becomes conflicted with his orders from the GRE, his allegiances with the survivors he meets, and other more vicious organizations that control the region.
Go and think about it.
But pretty quickly, you get the impression that Crane doesn't want to be doing any of this.
And what exactly does Shakur want?
Oh, he's such a whinger, Barjo.
Yeah, I know. He's like a disgruntled teenager who doesn't want to do any of his homework.
All right, I've got your bag. Why couldn't you get it for yourself?
And when he's not whinging, he's just threatening people.
Don't need to point out how easy it would be to set this entire place on fire.
And then he whinges about having to threaten them in the first place.
Hey, for what it's worth, this isn't something I want to do.
I don't know if he's coming or going.
But tell you what, how about I break both your legs and drag you through the streets back to Rice's place, huh?
Yeah, it's tough to get invested in this campaign and story, isn't it?
Yeah, there's so many problems with characters and their motivations.
Yeah, and the dialogue is mostly generic. But I do appreciate that they've gone to the effort of designing and creating all of these little side characters with their own stories and quests.
You've taken enough. You can't have any more. Frickin' tell him.
Isla, please. Just let me talk to the man.
You know, they're not just blank slates.
Yeah, I think my main problem with the story is actually the first-person voice acting, which is always a challenge to get right.
What can I do for you, Crane?
You sabotaged the gate, Gersel. You let the infected into the village.
I just don't believe half of what he says. But thankfully, there are many things this game does very well, especially the parkour system, which I think is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's quite Mirror's Edge, isn't it?
The infected are all over the street.
So what does that tell you? Keep off the street.
The best way to avoid zombies as you bounce around between quests is to stay above them. Aim, jumping, and keeping momentum feels just right. When you land well, things go smoothly, but when you miss or fall too far, you're really punished for it.
It's good you're not superhuman. That parkour system is just rough enough on you.
I can make that flagpole. Oh, shit.
Yeah, plus the head bob and the POV stuff is just spot on.
Isn't it? Especially when you're running through a field of zombies. I like how if you bump into one, you kind of get knocked, but not enough to break your momentum.
Hi. Hi. How's it going? Hi. 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 How's it going?
Oh no, this is silly.
You can tell they've worked really hard on this collision and movement system, from the controls to the overall just feel of momentum.
In fact, besides the odd animation glitch here and there, this is some of the best first-person melee I've ever played with a mouse or controller. You don't even notice how good it is, that's how good it is. Weapons don't last forever, and you'll often need to switch or repair in the middle of a fight. They swing and hit with solid weight, and there's plenty of weapons to create and play with. I also liked the volatility of your weapon augments.
Yeah, pretty quickly you learn that if your enemy is on fire or having an electric fit, then it's probably best to just stand back until they're done before you search their body for loot. It is good looting too, I thought, Barjo. There's a nice variety of locked chests and gear strewn about the world if you have the time to look for it.
I really liked how frantic grabbing stuff is. You hit the button to pick up the gear, and you're not halted by animations that play out too long.
Yeah, you really can just loot and run.
Yeah, and it may sound like a small thing, but I just found being able to grab stuff as you're fleeing zombies really kept the pace of the game going.
Ow.
As you progress, you unlock skill trees, and these are designed really well. They give you all sorts of perks, from better survival to new parkour moves and agility bonuses. Even camouflage.
They think I'm a zombie.
You just
disguise isn't very good at all. It's just like a dude in a tank top.
It's just so nice to have a skill tree that I genuinely look forward to unlocking stuff in.
Absolutely. There's such great unlocks, such as bouncing over a zombie's head, or our personal favourite, the dropkick.
It's like the best move ever.
That's not a guy that's fun to kick.
Co-op is another big part of this game, and while it does make the zombies a little bit less of a threat, it does add some much needed hilarity.
Look at this guy over here. He's like a little kid.
I could watch this all day. No, nobody wants to play with me. Okay, let's go do that. This is going well.
I did find it a little bit weird how everyone looks like the main character, but that's a small niggle.
At least there are different outfits. Co-op is a lot of fun, but I found single player a completely different game.
Yeah, playing on your own progress is a lot slower, but it is much more of an intense survival horror experience.
I found that during the day, the zombies weren't much of a threat at all. You can ignore them mostly, which is an interesting design choice. But you can still get overwhelmed, especially on those highways. But when you're caught out at night, things get desperate.
Going out at night is basically suicide.
So go. Go.
We had some frantic nighttime runs, didn't we?
We certainly did.
Side of the,
Let's climb. We've got to climb.
At night, zombies are much stronger, so much so that you mostly want to avoid engaging them or even letting them see you.
Help. Help.
Yeah. You're dead, man.
Help.
You can't kill these things at night.
Run.
No.
Run. This is safe zone? Safe zone.
They'll hunt you down and take you out quickly.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
No, down.
I'm just not sure this particular day-night system works perfectly though, Barjo.
I'm just randomly running and kicking at the same time.
I can see that.
I think the developers want you to approach it stealthily at night, but I never wanted to stay out there for long because it's so easy to die.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I'm down. Ow.
That.
I don't think the balance is quite right.
I don't feel like that. In fact, I want the nighttime to be more punishing because there's so many safe zones everywhere. You can just go there and sleep the night away.
Green, you awake?
Plus, at night you get a massive XP bonus, so if you're willing to work hard, you can get ahead quickly.
And I did like the atmosphere that the oncoming darkness created as the sun begins to set.
Okay, now we have to really run.
Another thing that makes night so scary is invasions. Other players can invade your game at night as a fragile but deadly zombie.
Yes, it becomes a game of cat and mouse as you frantically try and spot the zombie as it stalks you.
How do I activate the light trap like that? No!
And use your UV light to stun and drain them enough to get away or take them down.
Our turn to hunt.
That said though, Barjo, your maniacal screams and voice chat are more terrifying than the zombie itself.
Barjo,
Wait, oh, no!
On the park bench, we just had a nice little cuddle goose.
It's undeniably fun and a solid addition to the game.
And I like that the zombie has a whole skill tree to unlock as well. There's also a second zone you can reach, and it's quite beautiful.
The buildings are much higher, so falling is really dangerous, which mixes up the gameplay a little. We played this on PC, and when we tried to push up those visuals, we ran into quite a few performance issues.
Yeah, patches are coming through, but we did have to play this on medium settings.
Medium?
Yeah. Actually, it still looks quite good on medium.
Yeah, it does.
I'm surprised. But it's certainly not optimized for PC, especially if you're running multiple graphics cards. Other than that, though, I was surprised how much I kept wanting to come back and play this. There's a good selection of zombies to fight.
Oh, he's so angry with his big mallet.
I quite liked the faster zombies, or fresher ones. They duck and dodge well, which makes fights more about skill rather than wild swinging.
The bandits are a little light on the brain department, though. Sometimes they'll engage you thoughtfully, but often they don't react to your guns enough, which just makes them seem like faster zombies.
It's good that guns are introduced at just the right time too, and that the game doesn't then turn into a shooter. Bullets are really valuable, so you end up saving them for tough enemies. Also, it only takes a couple of hits from a bandit's gun to take you out, so they're still thrilling to engage.
Wrapping up, I think it's natural to compare this to the Dead Island games, and I did enjoy them, but I found that the more I played of them, the more the quirks and flaws started to frustrate me. And I also felt that when my friends were far ahead of me, I was a bit useless. But in Dying Light, I always felt useful in a fight. And I think it gets more enjoyable the more you play.
I really like the shield.
I just love that parkour system so much, and the combat's fun, and those side quests are really rewarding, and those skill trees are good to unlock.
Yeah, it does have good progression, but I think ultimately I just had more fun with Dead Island.
Oh, you got me. Oh, there's one chasing us in the water. Keep going.
Those games just had a kind of wackiness to them, and I just didn't find Dying Light as enjoyable, even though technically it is a more refined zombie game. I also didn't love the ending. In fact, the final achievement is called Bittersweet, which kind of sums up how I feel about this game, so I'm giving it 2.5.
I'm giving it 3 stars.
Nothing in there.
Airplane.
Take us with you. It just...